What's going on, guys? siimssyy here, today bringing you another video. But today we're talking Warzone 3. I don't think we can call it Warzone 3, but I'm calling it Warzone 3 because it's way freaking easier. Why are we not calling it Warzone 3? Same reason why we're calling guns a load of different crap when it's clearly a ACR or whatever, I guess. But today I wanted to have a little discussion. We'll go in depth a little bit. I say in depth. This isn't going to be some statistical video because one, I don't have the stats, and two, I think they're a load of crap. Now, let me go through my thought process here, because what I want to do is I want to go through what I think personally, based not on stats, based on using the guns and playing with the guns, what I think could potentially be the best guns for Warzone 3. Now, this is, as I said, it's not based on stats at all. I could be completely wrong, but this is what I'm guessing. Now, some context to this before. Warzone 2 and Modern Warfare 2? Was the last game called Modern Warfare 2? I think so. I was playing multiplayer and I was ranking the guns up. And I remember playing with Spiro's, Fluxury, and believe it or not, J-God. And I sat there and I was telling J-God, I was like, this TAC 56 is 100% going to be what everybody uses at the start of Warzone 1. I said, there's no doubt in my mind, that is 100% what people use. And his response was, what? You're literally faded. That gun is complete ass. Nobody's going to use that gun. And I literally went, that's just complete. I was like, the multiplayer in Warzone is completely different. I'm pretty sure everybody's going to end up running this gun. Anyway, he carried on saying I was wrong, and go figure, Warzone comes out, and at the start of Warzone 1, everybody was running the TAC 56 as their primary. So, fuck stats. To be honest, my opinion on the whole, like, stats and stuff, it is good. It is helpful for the most part, but COD always comes down to feel, in my opinion. Stats do play a part, but if stats were completely relevant in every single occasion, then the Lachman 762 would have been the primary meta for like 4 months, because that was the strongest gun by far, but it didn't feel that great, and you couldn't shoot it perfectly across like different situations. So different things came into play. Now, before I personally go through my opinions, what I'd like you to do is to hit up the comment section and take a guess at what you think the primary meta will be and the secondary meta will be inside of Warzone 3. So go ahead, drop that in the comments, and I'm going to go through, first of all, what I think will be meta. Now, this primary came out yesterday. I have no idea why they brought it out, but they brought out a new LMG yesterday, and it's called the TAC Eradicator. Now, in my opinion, this is the best gun in Modern Warfare 3, and it came out yesterday. It says, from a closed to open bolt system starting out, fully automatic LMG that uses an open bolt system starting out a blazing fast rate of fire. I think the open bolt thing means it's potentially got a trigger delay, but I didn't notice it when I was using it in multiplayer. I could be wrong in that. But essentially, this is a TAC 56 LMG. No idea why they brought it out. Now, it will be locked for you. It's not unlocked. What you need to do to unlock it is this. If you press start, so you bring up this section here, go to challenges, and click on here. It says week 4. See how mine says 5 out of 14? You have to complete 5 of week 4's challenges to unlock it. Now, if you click on it, these are week 1. You have to press R1 or wherever it is on your bumpers to scroll across here to week 4, and you have to complete 5 of these challenges. So not these ones, these ones. It's mainly about weapon conversion kits. So it says get 5 operator double kills with a Jack Heretic carbine kit equipped to the MTZ 762. If that's confusing to you, let me just bring up the MTZ 762. In the bottom right corner here, there's some of them say conversion kits. You have to do that and put that on. That's the conversion kit. It changes its rate of fire. The gun's completely different. But that's how you do it. Anyway, that's how you unlock this gun. Now, if I remove my attachments here and just show you what this gun looks like base, it zaps shots. Sorry, it's like 6:30 in the morning and I've just woken up, but there's no... This is literally Attack 56, but Modern Warfare 3's version. It is exactly the same. It's very agile for an LMG. It does not at all feel heavy. And it literally lasers. I was using this last night on multi and just zapping everyone. I could put some multiplayer footage in, but to be honest, multiplayer isn't Warzone, and it's kind of not relevant to the argument because of damage profiles, which could make me completely wrong, but this gun shoots so freaking straight. The actual reload isn't particularly long on its 75 round mag. Like, that's quite quick for a big mag. That's quite quick. However, for some reason, this has actually got a 45 round mag, which makes it even faster, gives it better sprint to fire, better reload speed, better movement speed, and better ADS. So if I equip that, and bear in mind I've got no other attachments on it. Should we just equip some attachments here? When I'm playing multi, I tend to go with either the Sack and Tread or the X10 ported. I go with that, and I always put high grain rounds on because it's absolutely busted. I don't like an optic on this gun, personally, just because I love the iron sights. I've gone off the firing range, my bad. And then look at the speed at this with 45. Ready? The thing at ADS is so fast, reloads fast. It's literally an AR anyway, so although it's in the LMG category, this is now an AR, and I just don't see a world where that isn't going to be the strongest primary, personally. So in my opinion, go ahead and do those challenges. It doesn't take long. It took me no time at all. Just go on Rust 24/7, or if you're watching this and shipment has come out, it'll be Rustment 24/7. Get this thing ranked up. I've only got mine level 12 so far, but I played with it for like an hour last night. It's insane. I personally would recommend that one. Other potential candidates in terms of that field, I don't think the LMGs will be meta. I hope they're not, because it's incredibly boring. However, there is a Bruin which you can unlock a 60 round mag for, much like Warzone, so you've got that same extra sort of AR conversion. I just think even on multiplayer, besides the Bruin, all the LMGs feel too weak for me. Even like the Polyamot or the PKM, it should be the strongest gun in the game, and it just doesn't feel it. It might be that once it gets over range, it might be a bit better, but they just don't feel very good to me personally. I think the ones that are going to get slept on is this Sidewinder. It plays like shit in the multiplayer, but has a TAC V-esque feel. It might end, like, I feel like some of these might end up being sleepers, like the TAC V type sort of style gun. The Baz B is pretty good. I quite like the Baz B, but it's only got a 45 round mag, which isn't necessarily the worst thing we've had. Like, I mean, the AMAX had a 45, I guess, but it feels like it shoots a little bit faster than those. So I'm not 100% sure. I think a lot of people will gravitate towards saying the Holger will be the best, but it's had a nerf and it doesn't feel quite as good on multi as it did at the start. So I don't know about that one personally. The MCW could be in that mix, and it does have a 60 round mag and definitely feels Kilo-esque. I think that gun was the one that's based on the ACR. It does have that kind of vibe. I question whether there could be a burst meta. These two are both pretty strong. But then we've had the M16 in the previous game and it sucked. So it's hard to tell whether once you then include armor plates, whether or not those will be any good. I'm leaning towards they might suck, but are so good in multiplayer that it makes me think maybe they will be good, but we'll have to see. I think if one of the two was going to be better, I would say the DG, because it's got a faster rate of fire and things like that. I don't know. That one's got more. This one's more AUG. This one's more M16 as it goes. But I would still say that Polymot, not the Polymot, the TAC Eradicator feels better. And on the sniper rifle side of things, although the longbow is probably one of the most fun guns I've used in multiplayer. It's so fun to run around and pretend you're Sprat and Testy. but it is insane. I just don't see that being any good in Warzone. It's just not got any kind of range. Even if you built that thing for range, I just don't think it would be that great personally. But it might be when it comes to like Resurgence, that one might come out and stand true. Same with the KV inhibitor. I think that'll fall into the same category. The Cat AMR, however, is kind of ZRG-esque, and I think if you like sniping, I think sniping could potentially be very good in this. They've obviously talked a bit about how they didn't want to make the snipers irrelevant. They kind of wanted to make them relevant again, and I think the Cat AMR does have that opportunity. So that one could definitely be in the mix, and I would definitely rank that one up. Personally, I would 100% rank that one up. But if you don't enjoy snipers, I would stick with that TAC Eradicator. For me, personally, as a guess, this is only guessing, but I think that one would be very good. In terms of secondaries, though, one, the pistols are great. But, I mean, you're going to want an actual secondary. Now, this is where it gets a bit interesting, because I actually really like the Striker SMG, but I don't think it will be any good in Warzone. This one, however, I think is one of the most slept on SMGs. This is the WSP Swarm. Not the 9, the Swarm. This is literally a Mag-10. You can put a 50 round mag on it. You can put a 100 round mag on it, and it looks ridiculous. It looks like a shaft. And you can also put a 40 round mag on it as well. But I personally, with the 50 round mag, you can still build this thing for mobility, and it feels insane. It's got such a high rate of fire that I feel like this one could end up being in the mix. If I put nothing but, I don't know, let's just put that on it for now. This is going to be shooting like an absolute robo with this thing, because I've not put any in the barrels or anything on it. But if you look at the actual rate of fire, the rate of fire on this thing is insane, and it is so small and light and agile that I think it's got a chance of being an SMG meta. I've not put any underbarrels on, so I swear it looks a bit shaky, but it is so fast. That one's definitely potentially for me. I think the AMR is very poo and is so ugly, and I don't like guns that are ugly. Now, I don't think there's really been many metas that are look like this gun, which sounds stupid, but it's one of those guns that is just hideous and just will stay hideous because it looks shit. Besides the fact of his TTK. That sounds stupid, but that is a thing, I swear. You've then got the WSP 9, which I personally, I don't know with this gun because it shoots too slow for me. It kind of plays like a slower firing Vel, and it's an Uzi, but it shoots too slow for me for that to be a Warzone meta. So I would say no to that one. This one, however, is what they all run in the CDL. If they were to use an SMG, they run the Rival 9. Most of them use ARs because it's just so overpowered on these maps. But the Rival 9 can be built like an AR. It's got an insane fire rate, or it can be built like the quickest SMG build going. And this one zaps. I mean, if I just put on the, let's just put on the blueprint for this. This isn't the right attachments, but if I just put this on, you can zap with this thing. This is not how I would build it at all, personally, but you can shoot this thing like an AR if you want to. This isn't the build of what I would use for that. But again, you've got a 50 round drum. You've got tons of different options to make it fast. And I just think that one's got a lot of options. So I would personally make sure you ranked that one up as well. The thing that worries me slightly in terms of the secondary field, so in terms of SMGs, I think it's either WSP Swarm or the Rival 9. The other option is potentially the Striker 9. This one might get slept on because it's essentially the same as the Striker, but it's got, I mean, we're just adding 9 like the ISO 9 and giving it a faster fire rate. I don't know why they've done that. But this one kind of gives me UMPS vibes. This one's got a much faster fire rate than the first Striker. I'm still not 100% sure. But it shoots pretty straight. Obviously, this has got no attachments on it. It shoots pretty straight. And it's got a very fast fire rate. So that one, again, might be one worth leveling up. But we've got to kind of wait and see. The thing that worries me, though, is these right here. These worry me greatly. This is a fully automatic shotgun. The Riveter. Remember the Jack 12? This is literally that. Fully auto. I hope these don't become meta, but this is like you don't have to do anything. It involves zero skill. I hope that one doesn't come in. The Haymaker is an SG-12, so it's a semi-automatic version of that. I think that kind of just tells its own picture, really. I don't really need to demonstrate what a semi-automatic is, but it's the same sort of thing. I think this one might get held back a little bit in terms of if people are auto-attack sprinting, which most people generally are now. But it is strong. Like, the damage on this thing is strong, and that worries me. I hope it doesn't, but... for me, if there was a shotgun that becomes better, I absolutely beg that it is the Lockwood. This one is seriously fun. I had such a good time using this gun in multiplayer. Just because it gives me a MOG vibe from Blackout. If you know, you know. But this thing is seriously fun. I wouldn't mind it, and it's very, very strong in multiplayer. Very strong. You can move pretty well with it. The damage output is pretty good. You can get a lot of one-shot kills in multiplayer, which means it can deal 150 damage. So I guess if you can get close enough to him and you do 150 and two-shot them, it could be good. I don't think it'll end up beating the SMGs, but if one does come into play, I hope it's this one, not the other two. But that's going to do it for me. For me personally, I'm sticking with my guns here. I think unless it gets nerfed before next week, I think the TAC Eradicator could be the main sort of AR primary sort of meta, and the Cat AMR will be the sniper meta. And as I said, SMGs, I think it could be a toss-up between the WSP Swarm or the MAC. I'm calling it a MAC because I don't like all these stupid names. The Rival 9 or the Striker, or one of the shotguns, but I'm going to hope it's the Lockwood, but it probably won't be. So, meh. Anyway, let me know in the comments what you think is going to be the meta. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. And if you're not already, please make sure you're following my kick. I'll be streaming Warzone next week. I would imagine I'll probably be off multiplayer by then. I've nearly finished the camo grind. I've just got the priceless ones to do now. Apart from that TAC Eradicator, I need to do that, finish the leveling up on that. But I've got all the guns forged. I'm going to be doing the priceless challenges today, maybe tiny bit tomorrow if I don't finish it, but I should be almost done by the end of today. And I'll be on Warzone from next week, getting back into the action of BR. And Warzone 3 releases Wednesday the 6th. And you guys better be freaking following it, and you better be subbed and be ready for a lot of content and watching the streams. Catch you on the next one. Peace.